BS and beer media. It's Top of the Bleachers with Jason and Tucker.
Smith coming right, trying to outrun the coverage, makes a cut, gets it. Oh, he's still going. Oh, look at it! He's going to score. He's got the ball.
Let's see what the guys are talking about today.
Yo. Welcome to the Top of the Bleachers. I'm Jason. He's Tuck, and we're hanging out, talking and chilling and talking about ball and all kinds of stuff, man. I'm feeling better finally after being sick again. For the third weekend in a row. So found out my meds were messed up a little bit. So got that adjusted. Should be back to myself in no time. I'm feeling much, much better. How you doing?
I got 3 letters for you, man. USA. USA. I've been watching a lot of Olympics. Got the news yesterday, just about the time that you and I were getting done talking about what we were going to talk today, about that my Aunt Claudia passed away. So I got a funeral coming up, but it was good that I got to go down there and love on her and say goodbye. So, and she knew where she was going. So it is not a sad event. Don't anybody out there be sad for that woman. She is in a much better place. And she's not feeling any pain now, so that's good. Had a pretty good week. I had some crazy things happen to me. Hey, Bobby, already on the board. Bobby's already on the board.
Yes, sir, Bobby. Thank you, Bobby. Hey, if you're listening, hit that like, share, subscribe, all that stuff if you want to. If you don't want to, no pressure, but we'd appreciate it if you do.
Thank you, Bobby. I appreciate that.
Yeah. You said crazy stuff happened?
Oh, crazy stuff, man. So,
what?
Well, I don't know how much of my personal life I need to share with the audience, but I am a mailman. That is what I do for a living. And I was on my way out to my route, and I stop at the gas station, and there's on one side of the pumps, there's a black Dodge pickup truck, and there is a white Grand Cherokee sitting behind it. Mm-hmm. And so I pulled around to the other side of the pump. So the white Grand Cherokee is like right on the other side of the pump from me. And I'm not paying any attention. I stop at the same store every day. We're small town USA. I wave at the lady. She starts the pump. I start pumping gas.
Yeah.
There's no prepaid out here in the country. There is prepaid. We just don't use it. Anyway, the guy in the white Cherokee, he decides, or I thought he decided he was done. So he backs up about 12 feet, and I ain't lying, about 12 feet. And then he puts it in drive, and he drives forward and just slams into the back of this Dodge pickup truck. And the guy's sitting there pumping gas in it. It was crazy. And then he puts it in reverse, and he starts backing up, and I think the guy's running away, hit and run, you know. I step around the corner just in time to see him put it in drive, and he pulls back for it and just slams the back of that pickup truck again. And I'm like, okay, this is a road rage incident.
Yeah, I know.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking I need to get my phone out. We're about to see World Star. You know, it's about to go down.
Is he mad or having a seizure? We don't know.
Rolls down his window. Well, the guy pumping the gas at the truck goes walking back there, and the old man rolls down the window, and he's got an oxygen tube across his nose. And the first words out of his mouth are, "I can't find the brake."
Oh my gosh. What?
This old man got confused and smacked into the back of the truck twice.
Oh no.
I watched it happen. And this guy in the Dodge pickup truck, let me tell you something, guys. If there is anybody that is bound for heaven, it is this guy in this Dodge pickup truck, because he was so patient and so gracious with this guy. He never raised his voice. He told the guy, he said, "You trying to get gas?" He's like, "Yeah." He said, "Well, shut the engine off." And he pumped gas for the old man. And then he said, "Come on, we'll go inside and pay for the gas and we'll talk." And when I went in to pay for the gas, they were sitting at a table having a conversation. Never raised his voice, never got angry, nothing. And I was just like, oh, man. Because if that had been me, I'd have lost my mind, man. I'd been like, what do you
Man.
mean you don't know where the brake is? It's been in the same spot since you were 16 years old. They didn't move it.
No, be calling the popo.
I'd be calling the popo. Plus, I'm a mail carrier, so I'd have to have the postal inspectors and who knows who out there when all
Oh, if
this
he hit
happened.
you,
Yeah, if he hit me, if I'd have parked there instead of the Dodge pickup truck.
yeah,
Yeah, exactly, Bobby.
yeah,
And it
yeah.
just
I would
irritated. I was just so amazed by the guy in the pickup truck, and he did not get angry, didn't lose his patience with him. It was amazing.
That's surprising.
Those are the kinds of examples that I need in my life. Right?
You should have went and made friends.
Yeah, I should have, because those are not the examples that I get most of the time.
Yeah, I have a hard time with that myself, especially in that situation. I'd have been panicking. Like, man, just if the guy had been the wrong way, you could have hit him or blew up something and oxygen tanks on him.
Yeah, he's got an oxygen tank on him. The guy's pumping gas. I mean, it could have been a scene out of
Only thing misses is him smoking a cigarette.
He probably was. But I guess what he did is he threw it in reverse, and when he couldn't find the brake, he just reached down and threw it in drive.
Oh,
but then when he slammed into the truck, he should have just stayed there. Instead, he threw it back in reverse, and back we went. Couldn't find the brake, so he threw it in drive. It's like, okay, now I'm not a huge fan of traffic cops. Okay, I drove over the road for 15 years, so I kind of have. I'm not a big fan of traffic cops, but when that cop showed up, he should have taken that old man's keys and his license and said, listen, you can have this back when the judge says you can have this back. Okay, I'll give you a ride home. We'll get your car taken care of. Don't worry about it.
Yes.
But you don't need to be driving anymore.
That's a whole nother show on elderly driving.
Well, I'm probably going to get there someday, and my opinion will probably change quite a bit when you try to take my keys from me.
I'm sure mine will too. But no,
but we're talking a brand new Grand Cherokee. I think it still had like adhesive in the windows where they had just taken down the sticker, and he just had not. And I was really surprised that his airbags didn't go off. He hit the truck twice at pretty good little clip and never set off the airbags. And I was talking to a buddy of mine who does collision repair, and he says it's not how fast you're going. It's like how hard you hit or whatever. And I was like, man,
you would think.
Okay, if you say so, but man, I just expected.
You would think that'd have been hard enough. Did the truck up? Like,
it's a big old. He had a big old trailer hitch on that thing. I'm surprised there wasn't radiator fluid going everywhere. I mean, one of the reasons I think he didn't get that upset is because it kind of like bent his bumper in a little bit. That was about all he did to that big old Dodge Ram. You know,
he's like, gives her a little carrot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. In the South, that doesn't depreciate your vehicle. That increases the value of your vehicle.
No, it's like scars, man.
Yeah. Chicks dig scars, man. Chicks dig scars.
They dig dents in your bumper too, I guess.
What movie is that out of? He says, "Glory lasts forever. Chicks dig scars."
I don't know. That's a famous one, though.
The Replacements with old Keanu Reeves.
Oh yeah.
I think it is, dude. That's a great movie.
That is a great movie. I love that movie.
How that wasn't a box office hit, I have no idea.
That's one of those ones I watch every time I see on though. Like I can't help but watch it, you know.
Yeah, it comes on TNT, and it takes 3 hours for you to watch the movie because all the commercial interruptions.
Yeah. He's wiry. Oh man, that cracks me up. Oh, that is crazy. I didn't have anything crazy like that. I mean, I was sick as I basically poisoned myself, I guess. If you want to look at it that way, but nobody running into anything or anything so far. But
you are feeling better, right?
Oh man, I'm so much better. Like it's like having the flu without a fever, if that makes any sense.
Sure, man. I mean, you overdose. That's like it's kind of what I always pictured overdosing as, like, you know,
something
like that.
Anyway, But today, Coach Cal had he met with the media. I saw this earlier. I was going to tell you about.
Yeah, I
He
met
had a
with
whole,
him for like 40, 45 minutes. He talked with the media.
yeah, and he Boogie Flan and Trevon Brazil and Adu Ethereal came with him too and talked. But it was really cool. He was talking about how he's trying to, it was like a recap of their summer workout or whatever. He said basically they just been working on individual stuff, trying to like build confidence basically and stuff, kind of stuff. He said he was trying to change their mindset. Anytime you switch programs or take over another program, there's always like, you got to make them think. You got to give them confidence and make them think, hey, you're good. You're good enough to do this. There was a couple of things that came out. One, I want to tell you this other story in a minute about him, but he said there was a video that came out about him recruiting this week, and it was like a video of him in some kid's home, and they're recording his speech that he gives the kid, right?
Okay.
And it's great because he goes, okay, he goes, you play 30 games a year. 20 of those games are against bad teams. So now you play 10 games. That's 10 games you play against competition where maybe they have one guy that's as good as you. Or you can come with me, and every day of the year, you're going to be playing against people that are as good as you or better than you. You're going to have to earn your way. You have to prove that you're good enough to be here. So it's up to you. Are you a grinder? Or you want to take the easy way? What you want to do. It's up to you. And it was like, oh, that's so good. That's so good. But then that led into what he was talking about in his thing today. He was like, I want him to think like kings, he said. He goes, kings think differently. And he was like, Arnold Palmer went overseas one time, and he was fixing to meet this king. And before he went in, the guy was like, all right, when you get in there, if the king gives you a present, you take it because he'll be offended if you don't. Like, you need to accept the gift. He's like, oh, okay. He's like, I feel uncomfortable doing that. I don't want to, I'll take it because I don't want to offend him, but that's, I don't want him giving me anything. So he walks in.
I didn't bring him anything.
Yeah. So the king is like, so the king is like, instead of giving him a present, he says, what do you want?
Oh my gosh.
And Arnold's like, I didn't know. He didn't know what to ask for. He's just kind of like stumbling around. And he says, I just want a golf club, just one golf club. That's all I need, And he was thinking he's got the big driver, or something, just one golf club. And the king's like, okay. He leaves. Arnold's on the way home. He's thinking about this big golden-headed driver with rubies on it and stuff, and he's going to hang it in his room somewhere where this king gave me this thing,
Sure.
And he waits for like 2 weeks for it to show up, and it never comes. And it never shows up. And he's starting to be like, what's this king trick me or what? So finally he gets this letter in the mail. And he opens it up, and it's a piece of paper, and it's like, there's no dadgum golf club in here. You know what I mean? Like, what? I thought he was going to give me a golf club. So he reaches down in there, and he pulls out another piece of paper, and it says, it's the deed to a golf club.
Yeah.
So he's like, you got to think bigger. You got to think bigger than yourself. You got to think bigger. You got to have bigger dreams, but you got to work bigger than your dream to get there. So you got to think bigger. It was really good how y'all tied it in and then ties that into his recruiting and stuff. It was really good, dude. And then he talked about the players and stuff. He said he saw Brazil in the locker room after practice or something. He's laying in the floor, and he walked up to him and says, man, you're better than I thought you were. And TB is like, I told you so. And he's like, well, that's the kind of confidence I want him to have. He told him, he said, I don't want you shooting threes. I don't want you standing in the corner shooting threes. I want you to be an attack dog.
Yes.
You're going to the rim every time. You're going every time. Same thing with Big Z. He was like, Big Z's not going to be shooting threes. He's 7'2". He's going to be shooting twos. And he said, you're going to be shooting twos. You know what? You shoot a jump shot from the elbow and you miss it. That's embarrassing. You miss a 7-foot guy takes a 3-point shot. Well, he almost made that. He said, no, you're going to be shooting twos. So that was good. And then he talked about him working out and how some of them had to get stronger. There was one guy that was like 20% body fat. He's down to 12%. Talking about that kind of stuff. So it was really good. There was a lot of stuff in there that he said too, but that was the major things. There was some other stuff he said too, but
You figure people like Coach Cal have probably read every coaching book, every psychology book, anything. I just picture Coach Cal late at night with his feet up and he's like perusing psychology 101 and he's like, oh, I could, I could use that right there.
he does. He does. Oh, that's the other thing he said was he said we're working on our run, and he said the track coach is coming over when we get back from break and going to teach us how to run because we're going to learn how to run.
It makes sense, man. It was I think it's one of those movies like The Replacements or something where all the players take ballet,
Yeah.
because it makes you lighter on your feet and
Yeah.
it teaches you things that you're not used to teaching yourself.
Well, they're going to run. They're going to run up and down the floor. They're going to be. That's the kind of pace he wants to play at. So that's what it's going to be like. So it's going to be fun.
BS and beer. It is too early for Go Tigers. Okay, way too early for Go Tigers. I am going to give praise to an LSU Tiger later on in the show. So y'all just sit there and wait for it because it's actually going to happen.
Okay. Anyway, sorry I was kind of long-winded about the basketball stuff, but
no, man, I like that stuff. I like hearing about how Cal's, because I mean, you talk about changing the mentality. If there's a team out there that needs the mentality changed, it's that team up there on the hill. We gave up last year about halfway through.
Yeah.
And I saw a side of Trevin Brazil that it was not confident at all. It's nice to hear that he's going to attack and he's going to be more confident this year because he was not last year.
Yeah. Oh, I do told his story too. He said that Boogie was coming down the floor and he threw an alley oop from about the free throw line, and when he threw it, Adu says, "Who's going to catch that?" And he turns around like that, and Brazil catches it. He says that his hands were above the backboard when he caught it. He caught it with his pinky fingers and freaking dunks it like that. And the whole practice stopped, and we're just standing there like, I didn't know you could jump that high. You know what I mean? Like, so I have way more confidence in Brazil today than I did yesterday.
Yes, yeah.
Than what they're saying.
Well, just the fact that Cal took him back on the team to me meant a lot because Cal watched the same player I did last year.
Yeah.
He saw the same things. He probably saw more than what I saw last year. And to bring him back on the team and to, because mentally Cal's thinking this kid has got the potential. He just needs to be pushed the right way. Yeah. And I don't know if it was coming back from the injury. I don't know if it was the way that Musk coaches or what. It's just I never saw that confidence from him last year.
I didn't either. I hope he had it. The little bit of footage I've seen out of practice and stuff it's exciting what they're doing and how they're playing. So we'll see. Oh, the other thing was too, there's there's going to be 2 exhibition games. One of them's going to be in Dallas against TCU.
Sweet.
The other one might be, they're working on it, is going to be in Bud Walton against Kansas.
Oh, and an exhibition like we did against
Purdue
last year.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, we put Zach Edey on the bench and beat Purdue last year. Yeah. And everybody around here was like, "Oh, national championship!" And then we freaking crap.
That's going to be crazy. That's going to be like the first ever game that they play in Bud Walton. That's going to be nuts. That's going to be nuts.
I bet you it's going to be a hard ticket to get.
Oh yeah.
Hard.
He said they heard a couple weeks ago that the season tickets, all of the tickets for the season are sold out. So
yeah.
Knew that was coming.
Yeah, hog fans are loyal. We are disgruntled and we complain a lot, but we are loyal. Okay, we will show up, even with crappy coaches at the helm. We show up to ball games.
Yeah,
So I
true.
had no doubt when they brought in Cal that they were going to start selling season tickets, and
Yep.
now all they got to do is work on football. So see
Yeah.
what happens there.
We'll see. After SEC media days, I feel a little bit better, but man, they got to prove it. They got a
Well,
lot
I
of proving
mean,
to do.
as far as the football team goes, after SEC media days and they came out with their rankings and everything, I mean, everybody's got us picked, if not last, close to last, in our division. I'd love to freaking be one of those teams that goes from the bottom to the top. It happens every year. Missouri did it last year. Missouri
Mhm.
sucked 2 years ago, and last year I think they won 10 ball games.
Yeah.
So I would love for something like that to happen.
Well, his first year, whatever, they went from 3-7 to 9-4.
Yeah, he overperformed, and I told everybody he
Well,
overperformed, man.
I'm just saying, if they can do it once, they can do it again.
It's like Coach Nutt, man. It's just like Coach Nutt. Coach Nutt came in and he almost took us to a national championship, and then after that, we were good. I mean, don't get me wrong. Nutt was like 70-something% as far as winning percentage. It's just he overperformed that first year. Everybody wanted that every year after he did that.
Well, yeah, of course, that's what everybody wants.
Yeah.
Anyway, carrying on. The Olympics.
The Olympics, man. I'm loving it.
I heard you telling me you've been watching a lot of stuff. I've
Dude,
not watched a lot. I've watched some of the basketball, and I tell you what, man, I did not know I was a fan of this game. I didn't even know this game existed.
You talking about handball?
Handball, man.
Handball. Yeah.
That is exciting stuff, man.
Yeah. It is.
Did you watch some of that? Did you watch some of it?
I have not got to watch any of the handball. I mean, I watched the clip that with you when you showed it to me, and it looks wild. I mean, it's pretty much water polo without the water. They're just running around firing this little soccer ball at each other, and guys are throwing their bodies around, man. There are some hits taken in this.
Yes, there is.
Did watch I did, speaking of water polo, watch some water polo, and it's pretty much set up like handball is. You got that arc, and they pass the ball around the outside of the arc, and then there's one girl in the middle, and she's kind of like a screener or kind of a post player, and there's only one girl who's allowed in the arc. And that defensive girl, I don't know how that girl keeps from drowning, man. She is all over her, pulling and tugging, and I mean, golly, it was rough. I was like, I'd be so mad I would drown somebody. I'd take them to the bottom of the pool and hold them there, man.
Sweet.
Watched an equestrian event the other night where they go on this like 9-10 mile ride, and there's 42 jumps along the way. These horses are like jumping these shrubs and into the water and over these obstacles, and it's a timed event. So they shotgun the start. It's kind of like one guy starts on his horse, and then like say 5 minutes later another guy starts on his horse, and so you're constantly watching these horses. And there's a couple where you get to one and a horse won't jump. Man. He's got to turn around and try again.
Oh, dang, 42?
42 jumps. Yeah.
Jeez, wheeze.
And it's like I think 10 miles is an exaggeration, but it's a long one. It takes 9, like the girl who won it came in at 8 minutes and 42 seconds. Everybody else was over like 9 minutes or something like that. So it's a 9-minute horse ride, and wow. I mean, they're not like booking it. Now there are some straight stretches. They've got like a bridge built across the river and stuff, and they do get after it going across those areas, those flat areas.
Like so full speed?
Yeah. Like they are getting it across this like little bridge.
I like that.
It's pretty neat, man. It's a pretty neat event. I've been watching some volleyball today, some beach volleyball. Watched a bunch of swimming. Watched a bunch of gymnastics. Women's gymnastic team's doing well. They look good going into their event. The men ended up winning silver, won the team silver, which I don't know how I get so invested in such a short period of time. like, so you got like 5 guys on the U.S. gymnastic team, and they got one guy. He just does the pommel horse. That's his only event. He's that good. He does the pommel, and he's the one who ended up winning us the bronze medal. And this is a team that just like they rose to the occasion. They needed every time they needed a good score, they did it. And every time the Chinese had a chance to put them away, they would fall. It was amazing, man.
So they win bronze or silver? Did you say
They won. Oh, I might have said silver, but they won bronze.
bronze? Okay.
Yeah, as of right now, so we got 426. Hold on, let me refresh. Make sure that I got the right.
That's crazy.
I got the right medal count. But as of right now, U.S. has 20 medals. France is in second with 15, and Japan has 12. We only have 3 golds. France has 5 golds. And out of the 12 medals that Japan has, 6 of them are gold. So pretty much in Japan, you get gold medal or you don't come home. One of them.
Well, I imagine that's their mantra.
We have. They're not as bad as China. China got the silver at the gymnastics. They got the silver, and it looked like they had come in last place. Their team was defeated and was upset that and Lacey's like, oh my gosh, we're running around yelling and screaming because we got bronze, and these guys look like the world just ended. I said, yeah, they'll probably be shot when they get home. I have to.
Yeah, they expect to win gold every time.
Yeah, those guys.
On those events.
Those guys don't. They're not getting to come back next year. They may not get to go home to their families. Who knows what's going to happen to them?
Yeah, that's not good. How'd Simone do?
Simone did well, man. She got a lower ankle injury, I guess, during qualifying. And then she come out and she just okay.
I saw the balance beam and she did really well.
Yeah, let me say this. All right. I am a bigger fan of sports where there is a clear-cut winner. I'm not a fan of these sports where there's a panel of judges who decides if you win or not. And I will say that Simone probably gets a leg up just because she's Simone. You know what I mean? Like, it happened with the synchronized diving. Like the Chinese came in, the Chinese are going to win gold. It's just a matter of who comes in second and third, and it seemed like the judges scored it like that. Like they had already predetermined who was going to win, because there were a couple of dives where I was like, I think the U.S. was better than they were.
Yeah.
But it's all done on judging and all that. Now, with that said, Simone goes out there on one leg and ends up sticking every routine that she put out there. One of them, she lands on one leg. I mean, her final one, boom, one leg just stuck it. Boom, hands in the air, walked off, So yeah, the U.S. gymnastic team's doing real well. I'm enjoying a lot of sports that I didn't know existed, like handball, like the equestrian event that I watched. They have a mountain biking track. That was interesting to watch. We ended up getting silver in the mountain biking. They have skateboarding. And this year I found out they have break dancing. Did you know break dancing is an Olympic sport now?
I did not know that.
It is. I don't know when they're going to put it on, but I'd really like to see that. I'd like to see.
I saw some of the cyclists, I think it was. They train in Northwest Arkansas.
Yeah.
They're riding those hills and stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah, getting in the way of traffic while I'm cussing at them. Don't get off the road.
You're not Northwest Arkansas anyway.
No, but you do see a lot. Bike riding is becoming very popular.
Yeah.
It probably has been popular in other parts of the country for a while, but in the South, it has really become popular. We see them all the time around town. They'll have their little spandex on and their specialized bike helmet, and they're just booking it around town, getting in the way. So we even have bike lanes in Conway, Arkansas. We have bike lanes on certain roads.
Well, I saw the men's
Dale's-
basketball team.
yeah.
I saw the men's basketball team play Serbia, and there's a couple top stories that came out of that. One was the KD was back, and
Oh, yeah. I watched him come out.
freaking
He come out,
blew
go
up.
8 for 8. Yeah. He's a
Yeah,
stud.
he blew it up, and then and I think he ended up 8 for 9 for the game, 5 for
Yeah,
5 for 3.
I don't.
And then the other thing is that Jason Tatum did not get in the game.
Yeah, but Steve Kerr
Uh,
said that was you can only play 10. You're only allowed to play 10 in Olympic play.
What?
You're only allowed to play 10 in the game, Olympic play.
I didn't hear that.
That's the way I understood it, or the way Steve Kerr was talking when he said it. You can only play 10.
So who was the other one? Because I got 12. didn't they?
Halliburton didn't play.
Halliburton.
in that game.
That's right. Well, he did say that when they play Sedan, they're going to need more wings and stuff. So maybe one of the centers will sit.
Yeah, and I got to say that I'm on Kendrick Perkins' side. It is time to bench Joel Embiid. He doesn't even look like he wants to be there. Send him home.
I think
Maybe
he's a transplant.
He looks so uninterested. Even
He's-
during the NBA season, sometimes I think he just looks so uninterested. Like he would like to be anywhere but
Yeah.
playing basketball right now.
I saw he was like -8 while he's on the floor or something like that. When
He's just not. He's
just missing shots. He missed his first 3 free throws. He's just not playing very good.
he's lazy, man.
Seems
That's
that
what
way.
I feel like. I feel like he's lazy.
Bobby said the women played all 12 of theirs today. I watched that game,
See,
and
way
that was
Kerr-
weird.
the way Kerr was talking, it made it sound like he could only play 10.
Well, they
but-
didn't make a big deal about Halliburton.
Yeah,
Nobody rose to stink about that. I mean,
I don't.
he's
Why are
he's
you raising a stink about anything? Why don't you just watch the U.S. team win?
true.
I
I watched the women today, and let me tell you, the Japan team,
they're
surprised me.
fighters. They're fighters.
They were, bro. They were all over the place.
I watched the highlights just a second ago. They're fighters, man.
And they were only down like 7 after the first quarter. And it's just the size difference was
Yeah.
staggering. You know what I mean? Like they got a couple 5'5" guards
Yeah.
trying to guard Tarasi, you know, and Brittany Griner down there grabbing palm balls and holding them up in the air. You know, like what are they
Well,
gonna do?
the women's team is a lot like the 92 men's team. We were pretty much the only pros. You know, everybody else was there weren't that many other basketball leagues, so we didn't have a lot of competition. And that's how the women's game is now. Like there's a WNBA, but there's not really like, you know, a huge.
Yeah,
You know,
I don't know. We'll see.
Oh,
I mean, they ended
all
up
the
winning by
good-
like 30 or 40 or whatever, but it was close for a long time. And it's just the Japan ran out of juice because they were all over it, man. They were playing defense like crazy. That they just couldn't keep up with. They just couldn't keep up. The women's USA team is just too talented. Brianna Stewart was making everything she put up.
I have now that there are so many pros in the Olympics for other teams, it's easier for me to watch other teams play each other. Like I watched a good game between Greece and Canada where you know, Giannis is trying to drag his Greece team, which is pretty much Giannis and 4 other dudes. And then on the Canada side, you got Jay Gill and you got freaking
Dylan Brooks and
Murray's over there.
yeah.
Dylan Brooks is over there. RJ Barrett is on Canada. I'm like, man, Canada got a good squad.
Yeah, they
And
do.
it makes watching that game a lot easier because I know some of the players and the play seems to be a little bit better and all that.
Yeah, Germany got a pretty good team too. And then I was watching Puerto Rico and South Sudan. And South Sudan won. But Puerto Rico's point guard got hurt, like right, I don't know, towards the end of the first half. and you could just tell like he was probably
And
their best player.
Bobby
Yeah.
says, Bobby, you're now my favorite guy, man. You said I was right. See, men can only play 10 a game.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's a weird rule.
Well,
But
it's a weird rule because I
Or you
wonder
can
if it's
12.
just because some teams only have 8 or 9. It's a rule they did this year, or if has it always been that way? Because
Did you see they upped the scholarships for college too? By the way, this is off topic, but they because basketball is getting 15, football is getting 105
oh, you talking about NIL money or scholarship?
scholarships, like scholarship positions.
Oh,
Like you can have that many players on the team instead of.
yeah.
That's a pretty good jump from football's. I think 85 to 105,
Wow.
and then basketball goes from 13 to 15.
Yeah,
Still,
Cal only needs 8. That's all Cal needs. Cal needs 8.
that's what he said too. When they asked me about that today, he said, "No, I'm still only 8 or 9. That's all I want."
Well,
So,
it makes sense from a coaching perspective because most of your kids are going to jump in the transfer portal or go to the NBA or something like that. So, there's no point in filling the bench.
yeah, just like BS and Beer said, there won't be any more walk-ons in football, and that's what they're thinking they'll get rid of. I don't know.
That kind of sucks. It's always nice to watch the videos where the walk-on finally gets a scholarship and the whole team surprises him somehow. That'll kind of suck.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know when they play again. They don't play for a couple of days. I think the men's team. There's other
I think,
games
yeah,
on, but they
yeah.
don't.
I think they play again
USA.
on Saturday, maybe Saturday. I don't remember.
I want to say the 31st, whatever that is. What are you watching tonight?
I don't
Beach
even know.
volleyball right now.
Yeah, beach volleyball, which I am a fan of the Australian team. Let me tell you.
Well, I don't even know what the schedule is for the Olympics, like what all's going on. But
Well, the crappy part is that like today is my day off, so I got to watch a lot more Olympics today live than I normally get to watch because that primetime Paris that they put on, and I don't subscribe to Peacock, but that primetime Paris that they put on is all replays from, so you already know the results if you keep up with sports or whatever before they even show you.
gotcha.
So live today, I got to watch a lot of it live today, and I don't know. It seems to be more interesting live. I don't know why, but it does.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I've also gotten to where I'll hit pause for an hour and not watch for an hour and then come back and start watching again so I can fast forward through commercials.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I thought the NFL and the NBA were bad about commercials. The Olympics are terrible about commercials.
Yeah.
Holy crap. And some of these commercials are good. I mean, some of them are inspiring and I kind of like the way that a lot of these commercials that, they're trying to say thank you to the athletes and stuff like that. I kind of like that, but it's still way too many commercials. I like the split screen. I like when they go to a commercial and they keep it on the live event to show you what's going on.
On my TV, I have this channel that shows me 4 different Olympic channels at once. So I got 4 screens.
Yeah. That's on Peacock.
No, I'm on
You
YouTube.
didn't get that off Peacock? Oh,
YouTube
okay.
TV. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And then you just highlight the one that you want to listen to, but you can watch all of them that's going on. I used it some today, but I had to work all day, so I didn't get to watch much TV. But anyway,
right now
more Olympics.
right now I'm watching USA and China play indoor volleyball, and it's tied up 2-2. So this will probably be a good little match right here.
Okay. Any other Olympic stuff you got?
Now, anybody out there that wants to really enjoys videos of people in pain, there is a video out of a gymnast named of Brody Malone. Brody Malone was on the U.S. team. He got bronze today. came through big for his team when he needed to. But last year, while he was on the parallel bar, he had
Mhm.
one of the most horrific injuries you've ever seen in your life. He pretty much broke his leg in a 90-degree angle at the knee the wrong way. Like he hyperextended it so much it 90 degrees the wrong way. And dude, he just the way this kid has battled back, the way that he has, oh man, it's so inspiring. It gives me goosebumps when I think about it. The kid just I think it's one of my favorite part about the Olympics is getting to know a little bit about the guy, the person, and then seeing them succeed or
Yeah.
seeing them fall. Sometimes they feature a athlete and then they come up short, and you just feel more for that person when they fail or when they win.
Yeah.
It's the opposite of how I feel in college football and college basketball and pro basketball. Like, I don't care about your story. All right. I don't need to hear how your mom raised you, all that. I'm not interested in that. And I think it's because I already am rooting for those players. I'm already invested. But with the
Yeah.
Olympics, you have such a short period of time to get to know the athletes and everything before the competition that you get this
Yeah.
in-depth look in the background and stuff in it. And I also like watching the parents in the stands react to their children out there
Yeah.
winning gold or winning silver or winning bronze. Man, they get so excited. At the swim meet the other night, there was a dad, and I can't remember whose dad it was. Was it the swim meet or was it gymnastics? One of them, they put a heart monitor on the dad while he's sitting in the stands watching. And
Oh
it
my
was one
God.
of the funniest things you've ever seen. Like, it starts off, it's like 80 beats per minute, 80 beats, he's sitting there, and then his girl takes the mat. And all of a sudden we're at like 152, 152, 152. And then he peaked at 180.
Whoa. Oh my
180.
God.
Oh my gosh. I was like, somebody needs to be standing next to this guy with the paddles. He was excited.
Whoa. Whoa. That's intense.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
I
I don't
really
know if I
think
can do that.
that NBC and TNT and all these channels, I think they've done a good job covering the Olympics this year.
That's good. Well, there's plenty more to come. So
Plenty more, man. We haven't even
see,
made it to track and field yet. Wait till
yeah,
track and field hits.
I like that stuff. I like the
Yeah.
swimming and stuff. I like track and field too. That's fun.
I like clear cut. This guy won because he's faster. This guy won because he's, better or whatever. I don't like this judge stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Because that's debatable.
Well, I just feel that it leaves room for bias. It
That
it
too.
it leaves. It's like if they wanted me to referee an Arkansas game. You don't want me refereeing an Arkansas game. Okay.
Probably not. Probably
Yeah.
not. All right. Well, then let's talk about some NFL.
All right. What you want to talk about in NFL?
So first of all, Thursday, football's back, baby.
I know it. I'm so
Oh,
pumped, dude.
we
I'm
got,
so pumped.
we got the Hall of Fame game, Chicago and Houston playing in Canton. We've got the list of Hall of Famers going in. Some good ones, man. Dwight Freeney, Devin Hester, Andre Johnson, Steve McMichael, Mongo.
Mongo's going into the.
Yeah, Julius Peppers, Patrick Willis, and then Randy Grittier. I messed his name up, but he's from the old school linebacker for the Broncos.
McMichaels, man, that's got to be. He'll be known as the only horseman to ever make the Hall of Fame. That's pretty cool. That's pretty
The
cool.
football one, anyway, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's cool, man. We got football back. That's freaking awesome. Some
Yeah,
actual
I saw
people
a
hitting each other.
I saw a commercial for the Big Ten starts up like August 31st, and I was like, I'm excited about Big Ten. I'm just happy that there's some football coming back, man.
Yeah, no, we should be like, I think the 28th or something is the first games or something. I don't know, but yeah. So we got football this week though, and then lots of stuff going on around the league right now, man. I got some questions for you.
Questions. Okay.
Yeah,
Hit me with it.
let's see what you think about this stuff.
Okay.
So, Kirk Cousins is coming back from his Achilles.
Yeah, down in Atlanta, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
How long does Kirk Cousins stay the starter in Atlanta with Mr. Penix looking over his shoulder?
Ooh. Well, what do I think, or what is Atlanta hoping for? Because what I think is, if Kirk Cousins can stay healthy, if he doesn't get injured, which he kind of has, he's kind of prone to do. He's got a little bit of the Tony Romo syndrome about him. But if he can stay healthy, I don't think you ever go to Penix this year. Kirk Cousins is enough. Let Penix sit back there like Aaron Rodgers and learn some stuff from a veteran. You know, the kid's only going to get better with each practice, with each, you know. So if Kirk can stay healthy, I don't see any reason to bring Penix in, unless he's just doing amazing things in practice. You know, like he's just showing everybody up or something like that. I mean, I'm not at the practices, so I don't know.
Well, this year,
I think the question probably is, does Kirk Cousins get hurt this year and Penix get in? And probably from the history of things, I'm probably saying that Kurt is probably going to go to the bench at some point, because he has a history of getting hurt during the year. So
it's possible, very possible.
But I will tell Kirk Cousins this: about 6 seasons in, or 6 games in, and your right toe gets to hurting, you better keep playing, because you let that kid in behind you, there's a chance you're not getting back in.
I think he knows that too. But I think I like Kirk Cousins, and especially I like his personal story more than anything. And I've heard him speak at FCA and stuff like that. So I like him as a person. So it's hard not to root for him.
Yeah, he's a great guy. He's a great guy. I mean,
but they're going to pay him this year. You know what I mean? They've paid him this big contract. They're going to pay him. They're going to play him at least this year, I would think, in my opinion. But we'll see, man. Penix is he was good in college, man. You know, that doesn't always translate, but he's looking over that shoulder. You know what I'm saying?
You got to, in the NFL these days, quarterbacks are not. They're not babied as much as they used to be. Like, they got another guy sitting on the bench they want to try. They have no problem sticking you on the bench and putting somebody else in. You know?
It's like they don't give you time to like develop anymore, right? It's like you can either do it or you can't.
Yeah. It's kind of like, it used to be, we're going to get this guy, we're going to sit him on the bench for a couple of years, and we're going to get him good before we put him into the ball game. Now it's like, all right, kid, you're up. Come on. It's your turn.
All right, next question. So Jordan Love got his new contract, now the highest paid QB.
Okay, all right. For now, he's the
Does that mean he's better than Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers?
Ooh. No, he is not. Well, let me say this with a caveat. Okay, he's not better than Brett Favre or Aaron Rodgers yet.
Yeah.
He's young. He's got the ability to be that someday. And the only reason he's getting paid that way is because, you know, of the time that we live in. If Brett Favre was in his prime and playing right now, he'd be making stellar money too.
Yeah.
I think the big question here is, how long is he the highest paid quarterback in the NFL? Because there's a certain guy sitting down there in Dallas who is about to get paid either this year or next year. He's going to get paid one or the other. Jerry can decide now, or he can say goodbye to him next year. Bold prediction right here. Okay. I'm going to give you a hot take right here. Dak Prescott, not the Cowboys quarterback next year. Dak Prescott probably playing for the Las Vegas Raiders, if I had to guess.
Okay. Random, but okay.
Unless Jerry comes off his pocketbook and actually pays him. But if we start the season and he doesn't have his contract, you can pretty much You can pretty much bet that because Jerry ain't going to pay what they're going to be asking for next year. He ain't going to do it. He won't pay it this year. What makes you think he's going to pay more next year?
He's going to have to if he wants a quarterback worth a
He end
hill
up-
of beans.
I don't know if he cares, honestly.
I don't know if he knows he cares.
Amen, brother. Amen.
Well, that was my next. That was my next question. Was is Dak Prescott going to get a new contract, or will he be gone next year? So we just talked about that.
Well, Dak is playing. I think he's playing it right. He's showing up to practice. He's doing everything that the Cowboys ask him to do, and he knows he's going to get paid, whether it's this year or next year.
He's already getting paid. I mean, he's getting.
Oh, yeah.
He'll get paid.
It puts a little bit more pressure on him during the year, knowing that it's your final season. So that could be good. That could be bad. Who knows? I'd like to get it settled right now. I'd like to get it and CD Lamb and Micah Parsons all settled right now. But I don't have control of the checkbook. So there you go.
No, they better get rid of. They better get CD taken care of first because he's sitting out until they do. All right. Next question. Does Saquon Barkley push the Eagles to win the division? See what the Eagles needed to push them over the edge to get past these Cowboys. And take your Homer hat off for a second. Because don't just think the Cowboys are going to walk away with it.
I got the Cowboys picked to win this division, but Barkley does not hurt what the Eagles have. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The Eagles' biggest problems that they have is their center retired, which is a big gap to fill. I mean, centers like Kelsey and Ragnow and they're hard to replace. They are so hard. They're not a dime a dozen like running backs are. So if they get their O-line shored up, which I don't know what they've done in the offseason. I don't know. I know they lost a couple of key players on defense. I don't think that Barkley is the thing that pushes them to the division winner. If you want to win the division, it's going to be Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts has to bounce back from that crappy last part of the season that he had last year. Yep. He has to play better. If he plays better and he can hand the ball to Barkley, who has a hole to run through, yes, the Eagles are going to be really, really tough to beat for the division.
Rumor is that Mr. Hurts is tearing up the old training camp right now.
Well, he tore up the first half of the season last year. That wasn't the problem. It was how he finished, not how he started.
I'm just saying. He's back on track. Maybe he fell off, but now he's back on track.
Well, I hope for the Eagles' sake he is, because he did not look like himself that last part of the season.
Okay. All right. Next question. I got one more for you. Jim Harbaugh took over the Chargers, right?
Sure. Yeah.
How do you think their season is going to go? They got to play the Chiefs. They're going to have to play the Raiders.
They're in the AFC, man. They got a tough road. Not just their division. They got a tough road the whole way. And all they got's Herbert. I mean, Keenan Allen's gone.
Mike Williams is gone.
Mike Williams is gone. He doesn't have a tight end. They gave Henry away a couple years ago.
Yeah, I don't know who their tight ends now.
I don't know, man.
They got Bosa. They're rebuilding, man. You know Harbaugh's going to tear everything down, build it back up, make it like the San Francisco 49ers.
That's
10 years ago, whenever that was.
Yeah, and that's all fine and good as long as, management knows that that's what's going to happen, because you go out and only win 2-3 ball games this year, and I don't know how long management's going to put up with you, even if you are rebuilding.
Yeah, they'll give him a couple of years. This year, I don't think it's going to go that well, but we'll see.
Also, you got the Gruden problem in there too. It just takes one bad email or whatever, and your head coach is gone.
Yeah, that's true. One slur and dad lose your job. Like, what the heck? Anything else that you saw in the news about the NFL this week? I that's about all I saw this week. I mean,
I
there's
haven't.
so many transactions going on; it's ridiculous. But in all the training camps going on and stuff, it's a lot of getting ready for the season fixing to happen.
Just people getting paid, people not getting paid. I haven't really been paying that much attention to the NFL yet. Olympics have been mostly what I've been watching, paying attention to. But I'm excited about it. I'm ready for it to show up. I'm ready to get here. Let's get going.
Me too. I'm ready for the season. All right.
Oh. While I'm flipping around watching the Olympics, since you're talking about the NFL, they have a National Women's Football Alliance, something like that. Full pads, helmets. We're playing full contact football. And I watched the championship game between, I'm going to get this wrong. It was like St. Louis and somebody here. Anyway, these girls play some football now. I mean, this was some high level throwing, passing, running routes. The offensive line, oh my goodness, these were big girls. I was like, dadgum.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not sure I could take her on in the trenches. That's a big girl. And good quality football. They need to put that on a little bit more during the summer when all these guys are sitting around suffering from football withdrawals. They need to throw this women's league up there, because I'm telling you, it was better than that American Football League or whatever it was they tried to pass off on us this year.
I couldn't watch that at all.
Yeah, I thought they were much better organized and everything. So
interesting.
Next year, I'm gonna keep my eye out for that. I'm gonna watch a little bit more of some.
What was it? The WNFL? What?
I can't remember. It was initials. I can't remember what their initials were. I'll have to look it up. But did you see that girl for the American rugby team, Derrick Henry? That girl,
yes, and then broke it away and ran.
Yes, I was like, she needs to be on that football team I was watching earlier, man.
No kidding. Take her in my fantasy draft. I need a running back. All right, man. Well, then just one more segment to go. We got our top 5. And this week, top 5 college players of all time.
Any sport.
This was very broad. Very broad.
Very broad. Very tough.
Yes. This is opinion only, because you could pick anybody.
Holy moly, the list out there are crazy. And
yes,
I'm almost 100% certain that if you had 100 sports worthy people in a room, and you had them sit down and list their top 10, you would get 100 different top 10s. I really believe that, because
I agree.
There are so many great players, and you're only great for 4 years. And some instances, like 2 of my guys come from a time when freshmen weren't even allowed to play, so they only got 3 years.
Yeah.
So, and somebody's going to come along and they're going to break your record, and they're going to make people forget about you, because they are going to be, the hit thing at that time.
There's a lot of things go into the top college player too. It's not just the best athlete. It's just not who's won the most. It's not who has the most yards or the most points or anything like that. It's who's the most all around, like, must watch, must see, best player. You know what I mean? That kind of person. Does it have to be? I want to say dude, but it's not always a dude.
I don't have any women on my list.
I do.
Oh, you do?
I do have a woman. So yes.
I have 3 basketball players. No, I have 2 basketball players, 2 football players, and a baseball player is what I have.
I got multi-sport people.
That's great, though. That's what this was supposed to do.
I didn't really number mine, so
we're supposed to draw attention to the Rob Dedeaux of the world.
Well, most of mine are going to be well-known names. These are going to be well-known people that people know, probably.
Well, Let's go with number one on your list. Who's number one on your list?
Well, the first guy I wrote down was Jim Brown.
Jim Brown is
Uh,
on my list. We have one similar right here
really,
already.
really.
Off the bat, we have one similar.
Yeah. So I only wrote down in football he ran for 1,000 yards as a
Mhm.
senior in only 8 games.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. In the same year, he led the nation with 43 goals in lacrosse.
He had 10 varsity letters in 4 different sports, ladies and gentlemen. 10 varsity
Crazy.
letters in 4 different sports.
He's a
He
Hall of
played
Famer in lacrosse and football.
he played basketball, football, track, and lacrosse for Syracuse.
Yeah. Decathlon for the track team.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jim Brown, man, that guy. I mean, I know he's good in NFL and all that stuff, but college,
Number 44, if anybody's interested.
that dude was a beast.
First unanimous All-American. First time it ever been done. He was the first unanimous All-American.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
He had one game where he was also the extra point kicker for the team. Okay.
I think I did know that, yeah.
He had one game where he scored 43 points. He had 6 touchdowns and 7 extra points. He scored all that by himself. Had 156 rushing TDs. Led the nation in kickoff returns with 1,955 yards in kickoff returns.
Yep.
If you think about that over a 3-year career, I mean, that's pretty freaking impressive to end up with 1,955 or 455 yards off. That's you had to run quite a few back to the house or dadgum close to get that kind of yardage.
Yep.
Not to mention his work off the field as a civil rights activist, big in the Black community, big icon. Jim Brown, he's on my list. So
yeah, Jim Brown.
All right. So that's one we got similar. Give me your second one.
I didn't think you'd have that, to be honest. This one I thought you would. This one, Bo Jackson.
Bo
2-time
Jackson
All-America.
did not make my list.
Okay, well, just exciting to, like I was saying, exciting to watch. Must see. 2-time All-America in football. He hit over 400 with 17 homers for the baseball team and rushed for more than 1,800 yards and 17 touchdowns and won the Heisman. That's a good year. That's a good year.
Let me tell you something. I got a list as long as my arm of honorable mentions, and Bo Jackson is at the top of that honorable mention.
How do you win the Heisman Trophy and bat over 400 in the same year? Like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, Bo. I mean, of course, he blew up. Bo knows everything.
Oh yeah,
all the commercials, the shoes, the workout stuff. Went to the Raiders, all that stuff. I mean, Bo's legendary.
Come on, man. He almost got me to quit being a Cowboys fan and become a Raiders fan. Almost, man.
So who you got? Who else?
We're not even talking about Tecmo Bowl. Okay, back in the day, boys and girls, we had this game called Tecmo Bowl. And Tecmo Bowl was kind of one of the first football games on a console. And all you had to do was run Bo Jackson right or Bo Jackson left. Nobody could catch Bo Jackson. Matter of fact, Bo Jackson was so unfair to get that before you started the game, it'd be like, you can pick any team, but you can't have the Raiders. Nobody can have the Raiders.
Yeah, Bo, man. What a beast. That dude was unbelievable. Anyway, who else you got on your list?
All right, number 2 for me. All right, pay attention, Dale. We're gonna go with Pistol Pete Maravich, number 23 for LSU. Pistol Pete, man. Pistol Pete only got to play 3 years because back in the day they didn't allow freshmen to play. Okay, freshmen played on the freshman team. They didn't play. Yeah. They didn't play basketball with everybody else.
Yeah,
I know in football they changed the rule when Marshall had that big, huge incident where the plane went down with the whole team, and all they had were the freshmen because the freshmen were on a separate plane, because they didn't play in those ball games, or they didn't go to the game, one or the other. All they had left were freshmen, so they had to change the rule. But Pistol Pete Maravich, man, I don't even know where to start, dude. He had 1,381 points in one season, 3-time All-American, average 44 points, 7 rebounds, average 44 points. This is before the 3-point line and the shot clock too. You got to think about that. Average 44 points, 7 rebounds. I was surprised, only 5 assists per game. Lots of times when people talk about Pistol Pete, they talk about his passing ability. So I was really surprised that it was only 5 assists per game.
Well, it doesn't always go in, and if you're shooting that much, you may not be passing that much.
That's true. He had one game where he went 30 for 31 at the free throw line.
Holy moly.
One game against Oregon State, he went 30. He had 28 games with 50 points or more. 28 games in college with no 3-point line, 50 points or more. Pistol Pete, man, number 23 for the LSU Tigers. He's on my list.
Wow, that's nice. I like him. I was a big fan of him. I wrote a paper on him when I was in school.
3,667 points for his 3-year career. So that means he was averaging 1,000 points a year.
That's nuts. That's nuts. Pistol Pete's a legend as well.
And never won a championship, never even got to the NCAA tournament. At that time, they were only letting in like 16 teams in the NCAA tournament. Best he ever did was he came in 4th at the NIT. But this is also an LSU that was 3-20 before Pistol Pete got there. Okay. So he was really helping establish and rebuild the program while he was doing all this stuff.
Yeah.
And even though he did go to the NBA, he was always true blue or true purple and gold. He was constantly donating his time and his money to the LSU program.
Nice. All right. Number 3 on my list, or I don't have them numbered, but whatever, the third one. She was named top woman collegiate athlete for the past 25 years.
Okay, wait. Can I guess before you tell me the name?
You can guess. You want some more? You want some more clues?
Give me one more clue.
She was. I'm not going to give you that one. She was also.
Is it Cheryl Miller?
No, she was also. No, she was also a 4-year starter on the basketball team, though. But that was not what she's famous for. That's not what she was good at. She was also a 2-time national champion in the heptathlon for UCLA and won a silver medal in the event in the 84 Olympics and went on to win other Olympic stuff too. Jackie Joyner Kersey.
Jackie Joyner Kersey. I had no idea she played basketball.
I know. That's what I'm saying. She had quite the college career. I don't have all of her stats wrote down, but 2-time national champ, voted top woman collegiate athlete the past 25 years. That was probably a few years ago, but still, that's pretty impressive. And then, of course, she went on the Olympic stuff, and all that, being on Wheaties and all that stuff. And I wanted to give the ladies a shout out too.
Well, that's good, man.
So that's good. Jackie Joyner Kersey.
I would have guessed Cheryl Miller when you started talking about basketball. I automatically go to Cheryl Miller.
I saw Swoops. I saw Tamika.
Yeah.
Sketchings. I saw some of them. Yeah. I thought about it. All
right. Number 3 on my list. Tim Tebow.
Tim
Tebow. Okay. It pained me to give LSU credit. It pains me to give Florida credit, but come on, man. The guy still holds 11 SEC records, 28 Florida records, 2-time national champ, BCS MVP, 2-time Maxwell Trophy Award. He won the Heisman one year, but he was in the top 3 all 3 years he was in college. Okay, he was up for the Heisman all 3 years he was in college. And of course, everybody knows the speech about no, we messed up, but we won't falter again.
Yep.
Won pretty much every award you can think of. The Davy O'Brien Award, the James E. Sullivan Award, the Maxwell Award, the Manning Award. I mean, 2-time Offensive Player of the Year, 3-time first team All-American. Tim Tebow goes down as one of the greatest college players of all time. Now, had 100 single game rushing. Now, remember, he was the quarterback, 166 yards. That's pretty impressive from the quarterback. Plus, he set the record for most rushing touchdowns. He's just the guy.
Yeah, when he was a freshman, that was all he did was come in on goal line.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Number 15 for the Florida Gators, Tim Tebow makes my list.
You heard the John 3:16 story?
Yeah, I have. Okay. This was also a toss-up. I really, really thought about putting Cam Newton in this spot. Cam Newton, I remember we went down and watched Cam Newton play Arkansas State. My brother graduated from Arkansas State, so he gets alumni tickets. So we went down to Auburn to watch ASU play Auburn the year that Newton won the Heisman. It was like seeing a 30-year-old man out there on the field with fifth graders. He was so much bigger than everybody else. The linemen, everybody. He was just bigger than everybody on the field. And I was awestruck. Like, wow. How is this possible? Why are they letting this man play with these kids out here? But I went with Tim Tebow instead because, he was a 2-time national champion. So Tim made my list.
All right. The fourth person on my list was another track star, Jesse Owens.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
In a 45-minute, in a 45-minute time period in 1935, okay, he set the world record for the 220-yard dash, the 220-yard low hurdles, the long jump, and tied the world record in the 100-yard dash in a 35-minute span. That's crazy. That's crazy. And then a year later, he won 4 gold medals at the Berlin Olympics. But yeah, he ran the 220-yard dash 20.3 seconds.
Jesse Owens, always known to everybody as, that iconic clip of him running in front of Hitler, showing Hitler how it's done. Yeah, man, I can totally see Jesse. Who do you run for?
Ohio State.
Ohio State. Well, that's probably why he didn't make my list right there.
Yeah. I didn't know he was from Ohio State either, but yeah. And then, and that was in 1935. 220-yard low hurdles, 22.6. Long jump, 26 feet 8 inches. Ran the 100-yard dash in 9.4. 9.4, bro.
Yeah, that's fast, man. That's fast.
That's cooking now. Holy moly. I couldn't go 10 yards, 9.4 these days, probably. This man ran 100 yards. What the heck? Yes, that's my fourth person.
It's a pretty good one, man. Number 4 on my list, I'm gonna go with Robin Ventura.
Robin Ventura, really? The baseball player?
Didn't see that coming, did you?
I did not see that coming. No, I didn't know anything about his college stuff.
Number 21 for the OSU Cowboys.
Okay.
As a freshman, he hit 469. As a freshman, he hit 469. Freshman team, All-American 3 years that he played at OSU. 300 runs, 429, or 429 was his average, his batting average in college. He batted 429. 329 hits, 300 runs, player of the year twice. In 87, they lost the College World Series to Stanford, but he did go on to win a gold medal in Seoul, Korea. The guy was a stud in baseball in college. And
Okay.
I got to looking at stats for baseball players, and nobody in college even like dabbles with Robin Ventura's stats in college.
Wow. I did not know that. I knew about even pros.
I went and looked at Will Clark. I went and looked at Mike Hernandez. I went and looked at pretty much everybody at every position. I went through all the first basemen, went through all the second basemen, went through all the third basemen. I'm telling you, nobody even sniffs Robin Ventura's stats. He once had a 58-game hit streak.
Wow.
58-game hit streak. 60 is the record in college basketball or college baseball, and was at the time. And OSU fans, I found this out, OSU fans are still miffed at the fact that he got on base number 59 and they called it an error on the second baseman. So he did not get the hit, and his hit streak ended on an error in the field. So, and OSU fans are still upset about that.
I would be too.
So there you go. Robin Ventura is number 4 on my list.
Okay. I did not see that coming. I didn't even see any baseball players where I thought, everyone that had hyped up numbers, it was like, oh no, there's no way that's real. They're roiding or something. Okay, number 5 on my list is multi-sport athlete again. And I know you don't like him, and I don't care much for him either, but it's Mr. Deion Sanders. He was not only a sprinter on the conference champion track team, he hit 331 for a College World Series qualifying baseball team. He won the Jim Thorpe Award and was 2-time All-America as a cornerback for the Florida State Seminoles. Did you put him on your list?
Deion is not on my list. It's got nothing to do with how I feel about Deion. I didn't put him on the list. He's probably an honorable mention. I can look at my list of honorable mentions. He's probably an honorable mention because, like I said, I got about 20 of those. But I think multi-sports, it's kind of a way of the past now. I don't think kids do it much anymore. And I don't think, and I can kind of understand why, if I'm Cal or if I'm Van Horn and I've recruited you to come play baseball, I don't really want you playing football. I don't want you playing another sport. I would rather you focus on that one sport or whatever. So
I mean, you're it's so hard to be good at that anyway. Like, why would you not work at that 100% at that level? Like when you're younger, for sure, play everything. Play all the stuff. But when you get into college,
you start narrowing down the numbers. I mean, there's only X number of players that have ever made the NBA or the NFL or Major League Baseball. And when you start crunching the numbers, you can totally see that you need to focus in on one sport. If you're good enough in this one sport, stick to it, kid.
For sure. Especially when you get that old, and there's, like you said, there's not that many people that make it. If you want to make it to the pro, if you're just going to play for fun, play multiple sports or whatever. But if you're trying to make it to the pros,
and when you're talking about people like Deion Sanders and Bo Jackson, because I kind of put them in the same arena, you're just talking about freak athletes. These are guys. Not everybody has that. Not everybody can play multiple sports.
That's why they made my list.
Yeah, I mean, that is a freak athlete. That is somebody who just, he excels at everything he does. And Deion is one of those guys. Like Deion's one of those guys you take down to the city pool and you find out, holy crap, this guy can do like backflips and stuff off the dive and twists and stuff like that. It seems like there are some people in the world that no matter what they do, they're just good at it.
Yeah. What was that guy's name when you were a kid?
John Jordan. John
Yeah.
Jordan. John Jordan was a friend of my dad's. He could do anything. It was amazing. Like he was good at everything. Like it didn't matter what it was.
That's crazy. I wonder where he's at now.
Oh, last I heard he was living in Hot Springs. Last I heard.
Wow. All right. You got one more on your list, right?
I got one more, and I'm going with the great Lou Alcindor.
Yeah.
Better known as Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yep.
Not trying to offend you, Kareem, if you're listening. You're listed as Lou Alcindor, so that's what I wrote down. College average, 26 points, 15 rebounds. The kid, this is another player that did not get to play his freshman year. He only got to play 3 years because they didn't play the freshmen.
Yep.
Three-time NCAA champ. So he only played 3 years. He won the NCAA championship every year he played.
Mm-hmm.
3-time NCAA most outstanding player, 2-time AP player of the year, Naismith player of the year, 3-time consensus first team All-American. He was a stud in college. He was a stud in the NBA too, but he was a stud in college. And number 33 for the UCLA Bruins.
Yeah, I read. He's in my honorable mention, and there was a story about him that said that, like you said, he was on the freshman team, and they scrimmaged against the varsity, and they beat them.
Sure,
and
they did.
They're the defending champs.
Yeah,
champs. Not the big Kareem. No, he was like, "Nah, I'm here, boys."
Okay, so in 1966 is his debut. Okay, he gets to play for the varsity team. So he just comes out and drops 56 points. That's all. From the center position, he drops 56 points. He shot in the 80 percentile his entire college and NBA career from the free throw line. And you know how I feel about free throws.
Yep.
So yeah, Lou Alcindor, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar makes my top 5.
He's a good one. But like you said, there's so many players that could have made this list. Like it's all personal preference, to be honest with you.
It really is. It really is personal preference.
Yeah. I didn't really know. I didn't watch Jackie Joyner-Kersee in college. You know what I mean? I didn't know who she was till the Olympics.
Yeah,
I mean,
of course.
I wasn't even born yet. Well, was I? 84 Olympics. Yeah, I was born, but I didn't know what was going on. So
84 Olympics. That's the is it the 84 or the 88 Olympics?
84.
No, I'm thinking Mary Lou Retton. Was that 84 or 88?
I think both.
Yeah.
Yeah, 84.
Man, that's when I fell in love with the Olympics. Mary Lou Retton. I had the biggest crush on that little girl. Oh my God.
I did too.
I think every boy in America did.
We did, yeah. Mary Lou Retton. It's
Mary
all American. All American.
All American. Yeah.
All right, man. Well, that's it for my list. I don't have anything else for that. And no, I don't have anything else for that. You got anything else?
No, I'm good, man. I mean, a whole bunch of honorable mentions, like you said. You got Bo Jackson, Deion Sanders, Will Clark. Will Clark had an awesome college career. Not as good as Robin Ventura, but he had a good one.
Yep. All right. Well, before we leave, just make sure you like, share, subscribe, all that stuff if you're still listening or watching. We appreciate that. And don't forget about your mental health. Especially when you're sick in the body, it can make you sick in the head. So make sure you're watching that and others around you. And if you need help, you can call the national hotline 988 to get help. And don't do life alone.
Don't do life alone. Just want to thank everybody for watching and listening. If you made it to the end of the show and you have like some discrepancies in our list, hey, let us know about it. We'd love to debate you on how you're wrong and we're right.
Yeah. It sounds good, man. All right, man. Good talking to you. I'll talk to you next week.
All right, man. Peace and love, brother.
Peace out.
Thanks for watching our show. Remember to subscribe for more shows on the network. Smash the like button, share, and comment.